Daniel Wilson, and I'm the founder and owner of Wilson Environmental Landscape Design. Part of what I do is more than just being a contract and a landscape designer. I am also a consultant, an environmental consultant, sort of all in the sphere of residential landscape construction. I've taught at Santa Barbara City College. I'm on a 2-year contract retainer with the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, teaching irrigation technologies, water conservation, and appropriate landscape design, all in the context of water conservation throughout Southern California. I've been doing that Ventura through San Diego. Got an undergraduate degree in biological sciences, and then I returned to school and got a professional master's degree in policy and management of environmental sciences. More or less working my way on becoming a professional environmental consultant, and I really did not enjoy that very much because I was working in a concrete box behind a desk behind a computer for about 80% of the time, and I'm an outdoor field guy. I like to talk with people and feel the earth in my fingers. So that didn't last too long, and started my own independent environmental consulting company. I worked for 5 years as an independent biological consultant, working on all sorts of environmental projects, a lot of them focusing on native plant habitat restoration and creek restoration. Every day is a new challenge, and I'm pretty much learning about as much as I was as when I was in grad school. So I'm on this rocket ship of intellectual stimulation, and that's one of the things I enjoy most about it. This is actually a rainwater system that's put in off this house. It was a slow grassroots effort. Basically, I started out small with very low overhead, which is, I think, really important, and I'd certainly encourage people to do that, unless they just have something that's just so hot that the market's just ready for it and waiting for it, and they just need it, then yeah, by all means, get the loan and get mobilized. In my case, I started out real small, just working out of my bedroom actually for 5 years. And then as soon as I started growing a bit more and I officially got my contractor's license and my company incorporated with the state of California, I opened a little teeny office downtown. I hired 3 or 4 employees immediately, started payroll, started buying a bunch of tools, and pretty much every single penny that the company ever made, I invested 100% of it back in the company, buying tools, buying another vehicle. I worked probably 80 to 100 hours a week for the first couple of years. First 3 years, 4 years even. My overhead has increased from maybe $500 a month to well over $10,000 a month. Things I wish I knew when I started. Well, I wish I knew there were, just at the get-go, the payroll burden, the labor burden, the overhead. And apparently every single piece of possession that my company owned, I had to pay a tax on it to the county, including desks, computers, trucks, tools. So that was a drag, that was a surprise. You got this one coming in, so you could just go a T. You got a 45 and then you can go a T. This one comes in, drops right into the T, goes out one spring cap, nice and clean. Yeah, I think all told, when you add it all up, there's probably something like 12 taxes that get paid. So this is good, this is beneficial. One of the other big surprises is just the fact how litigious California is. So essentially what that translates to is, to protect my butt, my contracts are 14 pages long. I've hired attorneys to write them. They call it contractor. What does that mean? Contract. That's the main part of it. It's like you think you want to go out there and build and have some fun and do the trades, but no, you really have to, contracts and documentation and paperwork and legal this. And so big surprise, big drag. Speaking of that legal stuff I was talking about, contracting, photo documenting everything below ground. If somebody's thinking about going into business for themselves and they're really interested in becoming a craftsman and a tradesman, think long and hard about what growth you would look forward to having, what size you would like for your company to grow to, because the larger the company, the less interaction with the client, definitely the less interaction with the actual craftsmanship and what you innovated to begin with or started with your trade. And it becomes more about paperwork and documentation and liabilities and legalities and attorneys and accountants and all that stuff. And it's kind of exciting, you know, if that's what you're set up for. Tough decisions need to be made. The most important thing is human health and safety. So if anyone has any injuries or health issues, that really concerns me, and that keeps me up at night. Every 2 pay periods, there's payroll taxes. That's something that always takes me by surprise. Even though for 5 years I've been paying payroll taxes. Every single month I sign a check to the IRS and one to the FTB. Sometimes what keeps me up at night is when I'm thinking about problems. And this is in a good way, when I'm thinking about innovation. This is a really technical problem, complicated. How am I going to solve it? It's tough being a business owner sometimes. But the fruits of the labor. Eventually, this thing will bear beautiful fruit. Albert Einstein, he says, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking and logic that got us into the problems in the first place. So things that make me sleep well at night are a good day's work where we got a lot accomplished, no one got hurt, there were no mistakes made, productivity had happened, everyone was happy, the client is happy, and I got a full belly. I got a chance to eat some food. And every now and then I get a chance to look out the window and check the surf too, which is kind of nice.